Alright, so we're going to look at using photo to simulate that look of infrared photography. So what we want to do first off is duplicate the background pixel layer. So the easiest way to do this is to go to Layer and Duplicate. Okay, so we've got our duplicated pixel layer. Then we need to invert it. So once again we can go to Layer and Invert. Then what we want to do is, with the inverted layer selected, we want to change the blend mode to color. Then we'll go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, and we want to add a channel mixer adjustment. Okay, so with this channel mixer adjustment, we'll make sure we've got the red channel selected, and what we want to do is decrease the red contribution to 0. So you can use the sliders, but a quicker way of doing this is to select the value box, just type 0. And then we'll select the blue box, and we want to increase the blue contribution to 100%. Then we'll move across to the blue channel, and we'll reverse that procedure. So we'll increase the red contribution to 100%, and knock the blue contribution down to 0%. Then we can close that channel mixer adjustment. Okay, so we're getting there already. Now we need to go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, and we'll add a Hue Saturation Lightness adjustment. Making sure it's above the channel mixer adjustment. We can target individual colors with the HSL adjustment, so we want to target the reds first of all, and we'll reduce the saturation by a large amount. Anything from -80 to -100% really. Then go over to the yellows, and we'll just drag the saturation up slightly until we start to see the yellows around the grass here intensifying. Okay, so we're actually very nearly done. We'll close the HSL adjustment, and then our final step is to just add some diffuse glow to the highlights in the image. You tend to see a lot of blooming highlights with infrared photography. So we can go ahead, go to Layer, New Live Filter Layer, and Diffuse Glow Filter. Okay, now as is default behavior for live filter layers, the diffuse glow has been nested into the adjustment layer that we had selected. We don't want this, so we can simply click drag diffuse glow out of there and onto the top of the layer stack. So we'll just give these settings a tweak. We can knock the radius slider right up, decrease the intensity, and increase the opacity. Like so. And then if we hide the effect, we'll see it just adds a nice subtle diffuse glow to the highlight areas of our now infrared image. So let's just compare before and after. I'm just going to select these layers and hide them all. So there's our original image, and here's our infrared emulated version. Let's just do this procedure one more time to make sure we've nailed it. So here's a different image of 2 Egyptian geese, as you do, and we'll just go to Layer, Duplicate, and then once again we'll go to Layer and Invert. Then set the inverted layers blend mode to color, and then we want to add in a channel mixer adjustment. Now notice here, because we've been using it previously, we're still on the blue channel rather than starting on the red. So just bear that in mind in case you get a bit confused about why the colours aren't matching up. So decrease blue to 0%, increase red to 100, switch across to the red channel, decrease red contribution to 0, increase blue contribution to 100. Then, hue, saturation, lightness adjustment, target the reds, decrease saturation more or less all the way across to yellows. We probably don't need to increase them by a great deal in this image because they start to look kind of garish here. So we might just increase them a tiny bit. Bearing in mind, if the yellow is too strong, we can also use the hue slider to just change them tonally a bit. So we can bring a bit more orange and red in there. Okay, then we'll close the HSL adjustment. And once again, our final touch is to add a diffuse glow filter. It's nested, so let's get it out of there on its own. And the default settings are way overkill, so large radius for a smoother diffuse glow, lower intensity, and higher opacity. Okay, there we go. So once again, let's do a before and after. So I'll shift click these layers, then hide them. Here's the original image we start out with, and our infrared version. So there we go, just a quick run through on emulating infrared photography in Affinity Photo. Hope you found that useful. Don't forget to check out the other video tutorials, and if you have any questions or queries, please do ask on the official Affinity forums. Thank you for watching.